All right, so in this video here, I'm going to be covering the 5 stages of market awareness and why this specifically matters and how this is going to impact the length of your VSL and how much you are actually going to have to educate your audience before you get them to purchase and the different methodologies of doing so. So this is a concept taken from breakthrough advertising. So it originated, I think, from Eugene Schwartz. Maybe some other people messed around with the concept before, but that is where I got it from. So let's just dive right into stage one, which is completely unaware. So your prospect doesn't even know that they have a problem. They're not searching for any answers because nothing feels wrong yet. And if you talk about solutions to them when marketing to them or making content, whatever it may be, they'll literally ignore you because they are completely unaware they have a problem in the first place, and you are out there basically talking about solutions and stuff like that. So it won't work. So your only job here is to hook their attention, tell stories, and make them curious enough to realize that something is missing and they have a problem. So it is your job here essentially to make them aware that they have that problem in the first place, and then pretty much the domino effect from there basically takes place, and you're basically able to offer your product or service to them to solve their specific problem. But that is the first step there. The second stage is problem aware. So they feel something is off, but they don't know what the fix exactly looks like. So they're asking questions like, why am I struggling with this? Or why does this keep happening? And essentially at this stage, what they essentially want is empathy more than a pitch. So your job here is to essentially explain the problem clearly and show them that you understand it better than they do. And if you are able to do this, once again, like all of these things operate on kind of a domino effect. If you are able to do your job properly here, which I described under all of the different stages, everything else just kind of falls into place after that, and everything starts making sense for them. So if they are problem aware, you have to explain the problem clearly and show them that you understand it a lot better than they do, and you're basically the person to help them do this, and that is how you are going to sell them if they are problem aware. Now, if they're solution aware, they know different types of solutions exist, but they don't know anything about you specifically yet. So for example, they're comparing categories such as, should I use coaching? Should I use a course? Should I use kind of a software tool, like whatever it may be. So they're basically weighing the different pros and cons between different approaches. And your job here is to essentially teach them why your solution is the best path forward. And honestly, instead of just teaching them, what I found to be the most effective is literally showing them that your product is the most effective and comparing it against some of the other solutions in the market. So just basically showing, not telling here. So that's the case for solution aware. Now, if they are product aware, they know about your product, but they're not sold yet. So they're essentially comparing you against competitors, or against essentially doing nothing and just not like taking any action whatsoever. So the question in their head is this worth the money? Will it really work for me? And your job here is to essentially basically hammer them with a bunch of proof, case studies, and reasons why your product is the safer, smarter choice and is actually going to help them solve these problems, and why it's even worth solving the problem in the first place. So this is kind of the case for if your prospect is product aware. And now the most aware audience basically already knows you, they trust you, and they're almost ready to purchase. They've seen your content or offers before and believe that you specifically can help them. So this is your most aware audience. And essentially now all you need to do is just kind of generate a small nudge to get them to take action. So your job here is to remove any friction and make buying for them super easy and a no-brainer. So you could do this through adding urgency, like having some kind of a reason, having some kind of a very clear reason to act now, whatever it may be. However you could get them to essentially take action and kind of push them over the edge here, it's going to work because they already know you, they already trust you, they've watched a bunch of your content, they've seen your offer, they know it's going to help. So you just need to have some kind of whether it be a deal, whether it be a guarantee, just kind of any way you could push them over the edge. This is going to be how you're going to sell to your most aware audience. And essentially here, I just kind of broke down why awareness specifically matters. So why awareness matters is because not everyone is ready to buy right away. And if you are able to do proper market research and know the awareness level of your specific audience or specific subsections of your audience, you can actually speak to them in a way that will actually sell them essentially, because you understand their situation, you understand where they're at, and you are speaking to them accordingly. So if you do so, it is a lot easier to kind of sell to them essentially. So it's very important to kind of nail down in which category your specific audience sits in, pinpoint this, and then selling will be a lot easier this way. And then here for the last text box, I've just kind of broken down how to essentially determine your VSL length by awareness level. So this is not necessarily something that's super related to this video, but this is something that specifically pertains to me, and I've seen a lot of people make mistakes in this realm. And essentially the idea is the less aware your audience is, the longer your VSL actually needs to be. And the more aware your audience is, the shorter it can be. So obviously most aware being this one, completely unaware being this one, and then it kind of like lies on a spectrum. So here I just kind of broke down just the kind of like general length. Obviously like these aren't like rules that are set in stone and stuff like that, because obviously I've seen some like VSLs that were 2 to 3 hours long. So the most unaware audience here, between 20 to 40 minutes, just a rule of thumb. You don't need to stick to it exactly, but essentially as a general rule of thumb, I'm just going to break everything down here. If they're unaware or just problem aware, anywhere in the 20 to 40 minute range is going to work very well here, because you need to share stories, provide them with education, give them a bunch of value, and most importantly, a bunch of proof that your offer is actually worth it for them. And if they are solution aware, anywhere in the 10 to 20 minute range works well. So you just explain why your type of solution works best, so your specific solution. And then if they are product aware, it could just be in the 5 to 10 minute range. So you just showcase a bunch of results, testimonials, and comparisons. And in the most aware range, sometimes you don't even need a VSL for stuff like this. They're just pretty much like sold to begin with. They just need some kind of something to push them over the edge. But anything in regards to a quick reminder and then adding some sort of urgency to it specifically will help you sell them. And then the key and what I see a lot of people mess up as well is, no matter the length of the VSL that you do, because a lot of people kind of hyper fixate on this, and it's not the most important thing in the world. Your VSL just has to be very thorough, pretty much cover all the objections a prospect might have, so they are kind of like pre-framed and pre-sold before they go on a sales call, and then explain everything about your offer. That's pretty much like the core principles behind it. And obviously the length matters depending on awareness level, but like I was saying, the key, no matter the length, you always need a strong USP. So your USP is what is going to make people choose you over everyone else, and is what's gonna like make your offer unique pretty much. And if you're watching this and you don't know what a USP is essentially a unique sales proposition. So some kind of a methodology or something unique about your product or service that you have to articulate to your audience to actually make you stand out in the marketplace. And oftentimes, if you have a really dialed in USP, the selling becomes extremely easy. So I might even make a totally separate video here on USPs now that I'm kind of thinking about it. And yeah, so look forward to that coming soon. But hopefully this video here kind of helped you understand like the awareness levels, how this impacts how you have to talk to your audience, and the kind of like length of your VSL depending on the awareness level. So yeah, that'll be it.